to pull up to in their golf carts or walk up or whatever. And that's working really well. And then depending on how this variant goes, the original idea was to be inside of two venues, but we're going to give it a few weeks and see how this variant plays out before we do that. So as long as the weather holds, we'll keep going outside. I know we've got plans to double up during 50 Nights of Lights, and all of our musicians will be including some holiday music in their repertoire. And the next step for this would be to begin to develop that ecosphere of offering music services to amateurs and semi-professionals, such as a professionally taken photo, a professionally written bio, a social media campaign. Again, these are not people who are getting ready to pack up and leave and go to Nashville, but it's more about helping brand Cleveland as that professional music town. It just makes sense with the Grammy Museum here and DMI here and Dockery. So that was probably a longer answer explanation.
Well, the only thing that I wanted to make sure they understood, we're part of a bigger picture that stretches from Nashville all the way to New Orleans, and we're on the map, for this Deep Roots music promotion that's going on in that entire region. So it's not just people in Cleveland that know about this.
Oh, correct. And real quick, Gary, I can speak to that for our new members. There's a wonderful resource called the Americana Music Triangle. So if you go to americanamusictriangle.com, you'll see a promotional effort that started about 6 years ago out of Middle Tennessee that connects, Nashville to Memphis to New Orleans, back up through Muscle Shoals. It's this really weird little triangle. But all of the great American music came out of that triangle. And of course, we're right in the middle of it. So it's a no-brainer to take advantage of those marketing and promotional opportunities to help build that into the brand of Cleveland as a music town, as a roots music town. And again, so if people ask, don't hear me say that we're turning our back on the blues. We love the blues, but we're more than that. We're blues and we're country and we're gospel and we're jazz. We have all those things because, DMI, Grammy, all kinds of good music came out of the Delta.
Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Dan.
And Tricia, I know you never toot your own horn, but for those that don't know it, and I'm sure they do, Tricia is a singer, songwriter, performer, Grammy Award winner, just the best person I know to be running this, and the sweetest person in the world, smartest, one of the best, finest musicians I know, and we're so lucky to have her. And without Tricia, we wouldn't have this program. And I got a chance to share the stage with her this past weekend, and I'm gonna tell you, it was amazing. She is an amazing person. So thank you so very much. And tell us very quickly what you're doing, if you don't mind, because I'm sure we're online with other people. Tell us about the Delta Arts and our piano program, what we're going to do.
Right. Well, that's, the Delta Arts Alliance is, they're looking for a new director right now. Whenever that person is in place, again, it was part of this sort of larger Deep Roots idea. And this would be more of a visual reinforcement of what we're trying to do. But there's several programs around the globe where you've got towns and cities that have accumulated acoustic pianos, and they'll allow arts organizations or girls and boys clubs or whatever to paint them or decorate them. And then they put a few of them on the street. And so people can just walk by, sit down, play. It's amazing what kind of conversations can get started, around somebody sitting down playing a piano. And so, Danny, thanks to you and the efforts of several folks there, we've accumulated 6 or 7 acoustic pianos. They're being stored right now at the Arts Alliance. And I think whenever they get their new director in and kind of get their feet under them, there'll be some sort of an initiative to paint those pianos and space them around the downtown and Court Street area. Again, to just visibly remind people that we're a music town. That's what we want to be. So thank you for your kind words. Now, again, I'm a dreamer and a right brain creative, but without the support of a group of folks like the city of Cleveland, it wouldn't happen. So I appreciate you.
It goes both ways. It does.
Can I say something? Yeah, Kirk, go ahead.
You may have already said it, but your program on Fridays is just outstanding. And I'd like if you've got some events coming up, if you could just quickly say those, and we all need to get the word out to the public because they are free and they're fabulous music events.
Absolutely. Well, that credits to our musicians. We've got
And they're diverse. They cover all of.
right. We've got four more weeks of the Friday nights, and to be careful about the variant, even though it's going to be a little warm, we are going to go back outside this Friday night. We're not going to be inside just because the variant's just kind of crazy right now. So this week we have a bluegrass band called the Delta String Band. The following week we have the Grand Boys, which are an R&B funk band. The following week we have Bet Zenzo, which is a jazz duo. And then the final Friday, which is September the 3rd, right before Labor Day, we'll have Chris Dixon and Joyful Noise, which is a gospel group. Then we'll take a little bit of a breath and we'll sort of reset to move us on into the fall. Again, as long as the weather's good, we'll continue to do it. Once 50 Nights of Lights starts, we'll program a couple of nights of music all during that 6-week, 8-week period there. And then we may have some little one-off things. If the Cracker Jacks that we did in July, that was really sponsored by another organization, and we're grateful for that. But it was a nice kind of a one-off thing. So we'll look for one-off deals. It all depends on if the model is working and if the funding is there. First and foremost, and this is one of the things that makes Nashville so great, is you got to take care of your musicians. You have to really try to encourage your citizens to value music as more than just an afterthought. If you think about your musicians and really value them, even though they're not full time, that makes a big difference in how they perform and how that word gets out. Word gets out, and the music community is small. If they say, well, Cleveland is a place that really values musicians, and you've got studios there, and you've got people who are great photographers there, then it kind of exponentially kind of grows on out there.
Tricia, we really appreciate it. We're going to have to get to work on our left brain work now.
Thank you so much.
We'll let you take care of all the right brain stuff.
Thank you.
I can say Cleveland's a better place because Tricia Walker's here.
Well,
It is. It is.
Thank you,
Cleveland,
Tricia.
Cleveland's a great place to be, and I'm glad to be here. So don't ask me to do a spreadsheet. Please don't ask me.
Okay. All right,
Keep the
Dominique,
music
you can do that,
flowing.
Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tricia.
Bye, y'all.
Okay, Steve O's on deck here.
Good morning, y'all.
Hey, Steve O.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
Get you.
We're going to pull your budget up
Yes,
in a second, and hopefully you can see it on your screen.
yes, sir.
Steve, I'm going to preface this the way I have with the other department heads.
Yes, sir.
We're not talking about salaries at this point.
Right.
That'll be a discussion later today.
Yes, sir.
Right now we're worried about all the other budget line items.
Yes, sir.
He's actually in a couple of funds, isn't he, Dominique?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Cemetery, too.
Terry Burke.
Well, it's several departments, but I think we also have him in another fund as well.
And sewer.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. No big deal in the cemetery fund. We were pretty much, only thing we got going on there is that mower.
Yes, sir.
All right. We ain't gonna.
Bear in mind that I'm still looking for some land because of, on Mullen Road there
Yes, sir.
in the beginning stages there.
All right, Billy, are you talking about something we got to buy?
Yeah, we run out of cemetery plots.
No,
there,
I'm telling you, if you could at least give us a number to put in the bond.
Oh, in the bond, yes, I'll try
If
to do
you'll
that.
think about that before we get through today.
That'll be
All right.
fine.
So in the this is the groundskeeper.
Yes, sir.
There were no major issues there except the city beautification people asked for more money.
Yes.
What were the electrical repairs that we've added for? That $7,000, that line item right there. In grounds.
That was on the Christmas lights for adding receptacles.
Is
So
that
why
what they
didn't we
do?
do that? Why didn't we do that in the,
Last year with Rob's.
why don't we do that? Can we not do that in the,
50 Nights of Light.
yeah, 50 Nights of Lights is actually in the Economic Development Tourism Fund. Let's move that expenditure over there.
So we've got 14 there, add another 7,000 to it?
Yeah, get that repair off of him.
Okay.
And let's put it over there. So Steve-O, you're gonna have to remember, if you do that work,
Yes, sir.
you're gonna have to remind Dominique or Michelle to pull that out of the tourism budget,
Yes, sir.
all right, and not be charged to you.
Yes, sir.
Just remind Brandy when she does the POs.
Yes, ma'am.
Steve, I want to bring this up for a reason. I thought that 7,000 might be part of the problem downtown. These lights that are on the crepe myrtles are chain linked all the way up and down the walking trail, but only about I'd say 25% of them are running. That was not part of that. It's just we need to get out there and check it, or
No, sir. Robert's checking them right as we speak.
okay,
We got quite a few outlets out,
okay,
but that 7,000 was where Robson came in and run new receptacles to certain spots that Miss Becky needed.
I got you.
And
I got
it
you.
was-
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How much is that leaving him, Gary, for electrical repairs and where? Let's see.
Well, I mean, he's saying all of his electrical repairs for the groundskeeper, he's saying all of his were related to 50 Nights of Lights. Unless, Steve-O, do you have some that's not related to 50 Nights of Lights?
We had one sprinkler timer and stuff go down last year, and that was about it with
Okay.
ours. With the
So
ground.
do we need to leave just a small amount of money in there?
Yes,
I
sir. It
would.
probably wouldn't hurt.
$1,500, Gary.
Well, whatever we do is going to be
Huh?
Has the repair already been done in this fiscal year?
Yes, ma'am. It was done right at the end of last summer.
Yeah, but
So-
these lights that are out on the crepe myrtles are not part of 50 Nights Lights unless we consider it that.
Well, if that's the
Well,
I
case,
think
do
we
we?
do. They
If
do
that's
all
the
the work
case,
on it.
Need to be budgeted again.
yeah,
Good.
I
Yeah.
agree with
50 Nights of
Michelle.
Light.
If it's already been done, we don't need it over there.
They're out now. Is that what you're saying, Gary?
No, what Michelle is saying is the receptacles that he's talking about, 50 Nights of Lights, have already been paid for in the current fiscal year.
Okay. But Steve-O, you're in the process of repairing more now that you haven't paid for. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We got 70% of them that are out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just wanted people to understand.
Okay, we see that we have a chemical. Chemical cost has gone up from 36 up to 9,700. Can you elaborate on that for me, please?
This is year to date.
Yeah, that's through
Yeah.
June. They usually buy their chemicals towards the latter part of the year. Steve will correct me.
Yes, ma'am. We usually go at the end of the year, right at budget time, and
Okay.
buy our chemicals.
All right.
Budget's
Thank
only
you.
increased $300.
Yeah,
So-
I see that, but I was just asking.
Yeah, it is kind of awkward looking. So you'll spend that whole 9,700, you think?
We'll get close to it. Yes. sir.
Okay, all right, okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. We try to keep up. We try not to spend unless we need to. And then at the end, that's what we ready to hold us through until next year. Is
Okay.
how we usually run it.
I ask a question, Mayor.
Gotcha, thank you.
Sure.
Go ahead, Kirk.
It may have been asked. I was just gonna ask about we walk on the trail downtown and across from Nice's, there are about 4 or 5 of the green, the sound system, I'm not sure what to call them. microphones
Speakers.
The
The
speakers,
speakers.
missing. Did they get destroyed or are they being replaced or just maintenance?
that was through the
Yeah.
chamber.
Yeah, we
Mr.
turned that over to the chamber and I
Okay.
guess we can, need to get with, what's the young girl?
Laura
Okay.
Howell.
Well,
Laura. I think Kate is actually taking that
Laura
over.
Bowman.
You know, last Christmas, it made me sick at times, Mayor, when people would kick them over and, I mean, anyway, it's not the city's fault. It's just people being irresponsible, and it's vandalism. Anyway, thank you, Steve.
And if y'all remember, I brought it to the board, I guess it was last year. So we talked to the chamber about it. The chamber said that essentially the city would be responsible for the repairs or replacement of the speakers. And I presented a quote and we had moved forward with it, but the business, I believe they're out of Greenwood. The gentleman had gotten sick with COVID and all of that. And it just kind of fell by the wayside. I can reach back out to him, but it's my understanding that the city would replace them.
Yeah, the chamber is in charge of the music.
Right,
The speakers are ours.
yeah.
So I'll get back on that. And we may consider maybe in the future, making those speakers flush with the ground instead of, them being, you know what I mean? Or the rocks like Delta State has. Where
Sound comes out, the bottom of these. You're right.
I'll hit on that. Are y'all good with groundskeeper?
Yeah, the only thing, and my question was going to be about the $5,000 increase in beautification. I mean,
That's from Murtis though, right?
yeah,
Yes.
it was in Murtis's thing, and I mean,
I think as long as we have Miss Dunlap, I think we need to go along with that. They work endless out there. As y'all, I remember one Monday morning, it was about 10 of them in one flower bed out there, Steve-O. So
Yes, sir.
I think what I've been told is a lot of times roses take a lot more time to handle.
Yes, sir.
And at some point, maybe we will go to something that does not take as much pampering.
Yes, sir.
But under the present scenario, I think we've been with this for a long time. I think we need to keep it like it is.
Yes, sir.
all right, landfill fees, or you stand with that $25,000 budget, but you hadn't spent but 12 this year. Are you going to spend 25?
Yeah, yes, sir. Because we're gonna start hauling away from the yard,
Okay.
and it's gonna start eating it up.
So what goes to the landfill out of the street department?
Far as any of the debris that we pick up, leaves from the sweepers, just pretty much everything that we bring to the yard.
You guys take furniture to the
So
land?
furniture, don't we?
Furniture goes to a different pit. It can't go to the same pit, but I think it comes out the same budget.
Yeah, it's multi-use.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The only thing we've got in here, Steve-O, that we're having an issue with and just trying to figure out how to live with this slope mower.
Yes, sir.
Is that something that you absolutely have to have?
It would replace, I ain't gonna say exactly replace, but it took the job of 6 men over on Fayette Davis and cut it down to about an hour and a half to 2 hours, where we're usually cutting.
Is this is something y'all normally have to get down and do with weed eaters?
Yes, sir.
How often do you do that?
I have seen them do it. It's unreal.
We do it quite a few times a year. And way me and Ray was looking at it, we could also use it on public nuisance when the ground was a little wetter than where we couldn't get in with a tired mower. you can get in it with that mower because it don't track it's not as, I guess you would say it's low ground pressure. You
Steve,
don't
in
feel
it a
it.
track like a mini bulldozer?
Yes, sir. It has tracks on it.
But it's remote control, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. How did we keep this budget the same, leaving that mower in there?
Payroll changed a little bit, remember, with the loss of Ray. So.
Oh, that's
payroll
right.
actually went down.
Okay, got you. All right, very good. Let's move along. Steve, what else we got for him? Shop.
Shot. Started doing the 6%, 8%.
It's nothing major there.
No, went up 5,000.
Yeah. Okay, move along.
All right, we'll jump over to sewer. He has sanitation too, but it's not really.
Yeah.
much there.
Yeah.
Steve, have we applied for Earth Day for next year?
No, ma'am, I don't think they have sent our package yet.
Okay. All right.
Stay on top of that though.
Yes, sir. We'll get it. What?
All right. So Public Works Administration, they really don't have much. It actually went down. The budget did. So.
Okay.
Water Department.
That's gotta be,
Yeah,
gotta be a mistake.
we did remove a line item. So.
No, I'm just kidding. Nothing else has gone down.
The only thing they really put in for the Water Department, we have to pay for our water testing in Jackson annually. So they put that in here. We lump that in the contracted services. And then this is the new department. That's really,
It's not gonna be him though. It's not gonna be him.
right. So.
Okay. Steve, you got any questions?
I do have one question.
Okay.
And we turned over we have a couple of the poles that got hit downtown. Well, not downtown, on the highways. And we was wondering how we were going to do that, if we were going to get them to, because we actually wanted a couple on standby just in case one did get knocked down again, or we could put it back up. And I was just wondering how that was going to go.
And what did you say, a pole?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The
decorative.
The
Sternberg street lights.
I thought
Are
we already.
we getting reimbursed for any insurance for somebody that knocked those down?
We didn't file a claim, no.
Those
Well-
things are expensive.
Well, if somebody else hit them, will their insurance not cover that?
Well, do we know who hit them?
One of them we have a police report on it, and then another one we don't. We just showed up Monday morning and it was down.
That's what we have insurance for.
Where are these poles, Steve-O?
One of them's in front of the church on right down from the courthouse on Court Street, and one of them's in front of the old Wendy's building. There's two different style poles, which kind of throwed a wrench in the middle of it, because one pole was $11,000 if you ordered one, but if you ordered 5, it was $8,000, and they made 2 different poles.
Wow.
And I just didn't know how to actually handle that.
Well, I mean, on an $11,000 pole, I'm like Brian. Either we need to be filing an insurance claim, or we need to be filing one against whoever did it.
Yes, sir.
So,
I mean,
and
Sorry.
for the moment, we have to replace those 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, what's going to be the cost for 2 poles?
22,000.
Well, he said they're different type poles. So I didn't know
They're
if they
different
cost.
type poles. So the price I got on one of them is 11,000. I don't have the price on the other one. That was through Josh. Josh was getting me the prices, and what was it, Josh or?
Yeah.
It was either Josh or Mr. Roger Parker, and I can get with him on that.
Are you gonna try to get that done in the next
I-
3 months?
I can get it done as soon as possible.
Well, I mean, it would come out of this year's budget.
Yes, sir.
It ain't gonna affect next year's budget.
Okay.
I'd
And what was
say,
the price? Excuse me, go ahead.
Yeah.
no, go ahead, Zena.
I was wondering, I heard him say there was a price, a different price if he got 5 of those, or 5 of the same poles or something like that.
Yes, ma'am. It's 5 of the same poles. I talked to Dominique. I was going to see if we could like split 2 of these poles, 3 of these poles, and the company wouldn't do it. They won't. I guess they set that one mold up. They'll mold you 5 for that price, and then 5 for the next price.
But that's for $8,000 for 5
Yes, ma'am. That's per pole.
Per pole.
per
If you just-
pole.
Yes, ma'am. If you just ordered one pole, it'd be 11,000.
Oh, the more you
Yes.
get, the cheaper the
Right,
price.
economies
Is
of
that $2,000?
Gotcha. I
$3,500.
got you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
So Dominique, what do we have in place? How, you know, when we have I don't know. I think my question is communication between departments and you on insurance when we have these kind of losses, like lightning hits a pump or somebody runs into $11,000 pole. What's in place so that you know about it and you can file insurance? How do we communicate that between departments and you?
Yeah, our departments do a really good job. I missed this one because they did provide the police report. So typically what happens is if there's any type of damage, accident, or anything like that, they will bring me a copy of the police report. I send that to our insurance, and then our insurance follows up with questions. They might send an adjuster. Our deductible is $2,500 on property. And so they'll take it from there, and they're typically pretty good about reimbursing. I have to double check to make sure that these were covered, because I'm not sure if we've added these individually to our blanket coverage or not, the actual poles themselves. So if not, we're about to renew insurance September 17th. So if they're not added, we need to get them added.
Well, normally anything, I don't know, and I know in my business, any new items are covered for a certain period of time, but I don't know. Hopefully they will.
Or if we have the police report, let's see if we can charge them and get the money from them.
I'll send that over today.
Thanks.
Steve-O, thank you for your report, and
Thank you.
we appreciate the job you're doing.
Good job.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank y'all.
Who's next, Michelle?
That's it today.
We're done?
We're done.
Wow, okay, so we're gonna take a 3-month break, and when we come back, y'all have this budget figured out.
3 months. Wow.
Lord have mercy. Okay. All right, so I think it would be appropriate, Mayor, at this point that we entertain a motion to go in executive session. So move.
Second.
Billy, you're muted.
Do that in motion.
Okay, motion, Gary,
Second.
second, all in favor, say aye.
Make a motion, we enter executive session.
Gary, I'm so used to Kurt. Gary made the motion.
Second.
Brian, second, all in favor,